Therein lies now also an important lesson, not to feel guilty. Accept whatever mistake you have made. And okay, if you feel you can repair it or compensate it or somehow do some good work in order to create better karma, that is very good. But that feeling of guilt is the worst thing, no? It's totally useless, no? Because whatever bad thing you did, you still did it with good intent. You still did it because you thought that was what you had to do. Why else would you have done it? No? And that may have been a very deluded idea, that may have been a very stupid idea, but it was still your idea at that time. And that's why you did it. So then when we see that, we have to forgive ourselves, first of all, and not make such a big issue out of it, except, of course, to see and try to do better. See that mistake and not try to repeat it. And that is, of course, very important. Many people are not doing that. And throughout their life, you see them making the same mistake again. For something which triggers them a lot, always being selfish, and hurting others. No, that we can see. So that is not the right way, of course. We try to correct ourselves. But my teacher often, he said, never look back. Never, get too much there attached to whatever you were doing wrong. Or whatever wrong happened to you. Both. But definitely your own doings, don't feel guilty about it. Forgive yourself. That's the first thing. If you want to forgive everybody, start with yourself, because that will already prevent so much unnecessary nonsense that you are creating. It is only this disagreement with yourself which lies at the basis of like bad behavior. Because guilt takes away your self-confidence, your self-love. And if you don't have self-love, then how can you love? Guilt is only useful in order to change your behavior. For the rest, it is totally useless and very harmful, actually, to whatever follows. You have to accept whatever mistake you did, forgive yourself, and okay, vouch to do better. That is a very good thing. But not get stuck there. Because if you get stuck, if you start blaming yourself for whatever you did wrong, then you are stigmatizing yourself, right? Then you are no longer saying, I did a bad thing. Then you are actually saying, I am bad. But so if you think you are bad, how are you going to do anything good? That is the main thing. It's again a problem of identification, of the ego. So don't identify with that mistake. It happened, yes. Maybe, you had a bad day. Maybe you were under some kind of influence of, I don't know, of alcohol or spiritual world or some food you ate or whatever, and you just did the wrong thing. And afterwards you see, oh, that was totally wrong. That was very selfish. That was totally unnecessary and create a lot of hurt in somebody. So, okay, try to remedy it if you can. Forgive yourself and try to do better. But for sure, if a person is quite like in an unhappy state and then feels guilt towards you, then that guilt may for sure produce even more bad behavior. Because the guilt that they feel themselves, they will see it sort of reflected in your eyes. They will feel you are blaming them. And so they will start like attributing that feeling of guilt, which is a very unpleasant feeling, to you, and then start doing even more things somehow to prove that they weren't wrong in the first place. It's totally like stupid behavior, but you see it a lot. That is also why in some other question some weeks ago I said you can help other people, but try not to help them too much, because if they feel it's too much, they will feel guilty and start behaving badly towards you. I remember from the time where I then used to do healing as a hobby and did not charge for it, that this often created this kind of situation. So then I anyhow always said, if you want to give, I don't want you to feel guilty. If you want to give, there is a donation box. No? So in that way, I try to solve that. And you know, I know to some extent that even affects whatever I'm doing on YouTube. I know it very well, but somehow I see no other alternative. No? But putting all this stuff for free out there, which I'm doing, in some people it will create like a negative feeling, and that may cause them not to come back to my channel, which is so very stupid actually. But it still is there, I'm sure of it. But I just don't see another way, because any other way which is there is to have some system where people are charged for watching these things, and that I cannot do. I just feel it's too simple, and then I feel, okay, those people who can't like handle that, that's their problem. And fortunately there's still enough people who can handle that, and if they feel somewhat guilty, they can make a donation. That is very useful, and very good for them to do then also. But I recently also was invited officially by YouTube to start this kind of special account where people become members and then get special content in relation to that membership, and I'm like, no. I just don't want to do that. While okay, there may be some compensation needed for whatever pain you caused in others without good reason, let's say. There may be no karmic effect of any pleasure you had. To have pleasure in life is a natural thing. There's nothing wrong with it. So if you have pleasure in eating chocolate cake, or if you have pleasure in helping somebody, that is totally neutral, I would say, karmically. It is on a feeling level that this happens. So if you don't feel guilty about anything, then actually nothing there will stay. But that is not the nature, because we have a heart and we have a connection. And so if we hurt, then some feeling of guilt will be there. And I just said, maybe sometimes you have to hurt somebody for good purpose. Sure, to defend yourself in a natural way, to defend another person maybe also who is less strong in a natural way. That will not create in you any kind of guilt. You might as well feel guilty for eating a carrot. You are hurting that carrot. You are pulling it out of the ground, boiling it alive, and then eating it. How terrible is that? But nobody's gonna feel bad about that inside, because inside we have this kind of knowledge, that some things are just natural part of life. Unnecessarily hurting others, that is a different thing. Hurting others only for purely selfish reasons, not for fulfilling any real need, but only for fulfilling some kind of desire. That is where, we know it in our heart that it is wrong, and so it'll stay with us and somehow or other have to be worked out.